Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, two bikers feared dead following collision in Westmoreland. Two bikers are feared dead after the motorcycle they were traveling on collided with a truck along the Cave Main Road in Westmoreland on Thursday afternoon. The news understands that one of the men was pinned under the truck while the other was flung a few meters away from the crash site. A video of the incident shows the paramedics and the police personnel on site. The news also understands that the accident site has seen over 4 collisions in recent times. One dead, another injured in Linstead gun attack. One man was shot dead while another injured during an attack at Baton Bunbury in Linstead, St. Catherine on Wednesday night. The dead man has only been identified as Recall Hunter, a resident of the said community. Reports reaching the news indicate that around 7 p.m., both men were standing at Hunter's gate when several gunshots were fired from bushes nearby. Hunter, the police said, was hit in the right side of the neck, chest, and the legs, while the other man received gunshot injuries to both legs. A police patrol arrived on the scene and assisted the men to the hospital, where Hunter was pronounced dead on arrival. The injured man was admitted in stable condition. No motive has yet been established for the attack, the police said. Jamaican shot to death in Queens, New York. A 25-year-old Jamaican man was reportedly shot to death in Jamaica, Queens in New York earlier this week. According to an article from the New York Daily News, the victim, Cardell Lester, was attacked by an unknown gunman on Linden Boulevard. The man was reportedly shot in the head and was taken to hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries 2 days after the incident. The killer has not been caught. Investigations into the killing are ongoing. Body discovered in shallow grave in St. Catherine. The body of a man was discovered in a shallow grave at a Content Road in Fraser's Content, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Wednesday morning. The body is believed to be that of 33-year-old Kevin Anderson, a security officer from Rosewood Drive in Fraser's Content. Anderson reportedly went missing on Wednesday, May 1, 2024. Residents reportedly stumbled upon the body in a shallow grave at approximately 11:30 a.m. and notified the police. Following initial investigations, family members identified the clothing seen in the grave as belonging to the missing man. Investigations continue. 10-year-old boy found dead in pond in Trelawney. The body of a 10-year-old boy was discovered in a pond on Hollander Estate in Trelawney on Thursday. He has been identified as Alcade Palmer of Zion in Martha Bray. He was a grade 5 student at a Granville Primary School. An investigating officer attached to the Trelawney police told the news that Palmer was reported missing at 8 a.m. Thursday. A search team was dispatched to the area. Palmer's body was discovered in the pond about 10 a.m. Investigations will continue into the circumstances surrounding his death. The child's father, Basil Palmer, described him as a quiet boy who gives no trouble. Just night before, I signed a permission slip for him to participate in some festival activities. I don't know what to say. I am just shocked, said Basil. Man accused of 2017 murder of taxi operator arrested. A man was arrested and charged for the 2017 murder of a taxi operator who was killed in Gem Crescent, Bull Bay, St. Andrew. The deceased is Edwin Virgo of Jackville District, Bull Bay, St. Andrew. Charged with his death is 47-year-old O'Neill Britton, a construction worker of Eltham, Spanish Town in St. Catherine and the Windsor Lodge in Bull Bay, St. Andrew. It is reported that on Tuesday, October 17, 2017, about 7:30, Britton was a passenger in a taxi operated by Virgo. Upon reaching a section of the roadway, Britton reportedly pulled a firearm and shot Virgo, killing him. An investigation was launched and the accused was arrested on Sunday, May 5. He was charged following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is being finalized. Firefighter hospitalized after suffering carbon monoxide poisoning. A female corporal from the St. Catherine Fire Brigade is now in hospital after she suffered carbon monoxide poisoning while responding to a bushfire along Old Harbour Road in St. Catherine on Monday. This was revealed at the monthly general meeting of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation on Thursday. District Officer Andrea Morris revealed to councillors that the fire department's 4 stations in the parish have responded to 470 calls for April 2024. It was revealed that the calls about bushfires were the main concern. It was while attending to a fire when the incident occurred. At first, we thought it was something simple until it was proven otherwise, Morris said. Chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, Norman Scott, expressed a concern for members of the fire department. We know that the personnel operate under dangerous conditions from time to time. Therefore, we are saddened by this unfortunate news, Scott said. Recently, several fire personnel were injured and hospitalized after coming into contact with electricity while attending to a fire in the corporate area. 2 escaped unharmed following gun and arson attack in Stony Hill. 2 men escaped serious injuries after gunmen carried out an attack at a house on Erie Castle Road in Stony Hill, St. Andrew on Thursday morning. According to the police, men opened a fire at the occupants, then set the house on fire. Superintendent Sharika Service, commanding officer for the St. Andrew North Police Division, said the incident occurred about 1:30 a.m.
Based on reports that we have received, there is a complainant in the matter, and it was reported that whilst he was at home in the said Erie Castle along with a friend, he heard loud banging on his front door, and when he jumped out of his sleep, he was awakened to see 2 men dressed in black and another one in orange sweater firing several gunshots at his door. So of course he managed to run and jump to the back door of his house and escape the attackers. So he was not injured, but he further reported that shortly after he ran away from his house, he looked back and he saw that his house was on fire. It is believed to be related to a murder that would have occurred yesterday, Wednesday, May the 8th, about 4:57 a.m. in the morning at Rocky Valley District in the said Stony Hill. But investigations continue in this regard to see what connections really, if any, is related to between this arson case of shooting and arson and the murder that would have occurred yesterday.
Tire repairman alleged to have beaten man to death with stone remanded. Upley Ebanks, the St. James man who reportedly used a stone to beat another man to death during a confrontation on January 14, has been remanded until May 29 following his latest appearance in the St. James Parish Court on Wednesday, as his case file is still incomplete. Ebanks, a tire repairman of a Montego Bay address, is charged with murder in relation to the death of 40-year-old laborer Santino Plummer of a Lilliput address. During Ebanks' brief court appearance on Wednesday, presiding parish judge Natisha Fairclough Hilton was informed that the post-mortem report is still outstanding from the prosecution's case file and that no time had been given for when it will be ready. Fairclough Hilton subsequently set the case for further mention on May 29 and remanded Ebanks until that date. She also noted that the defendant has a bail offer that is still available for him to take up. During a previous court appearance on February 21, Ebanks was offered bail in the sum of $800,000 with 2 sureties on condition that he should report to the police 4 times a week and surrender his travel documents. A stop order was also issued for him as part of the bail conditions. At that time, his attorney, Jermaine Campbell, successfully argued during the bail application that Ebanks had been defending himself and a woman from Plummer at the time of the January 14 incident, and that the defendant was taken into custody while he and the woman were making their way to the police. During a later court date on April 18, Ebanks' last appearance prior to Wednesday's sitting, Attorney Campbell made a successful application to reduce the defendant's bail offer from $800,000 to $600,000. The attorney indicated on that occasion that the woman who Ebanks had reportedly been defending was his girlfriend. Interestingly, Attorney Campbell was not present during Ebanks' latest court appearance on Wednesday, and no explanation was given to the reason for his absence. According to the allegations, on January 14 at about 11:30 p.m., Plummer went to a football playing field to conduct a business transaction. While there, an argument reportedly developed between him and a woman, in which Ebanks intervened. The confrontation between the two turned physical, during which Ebanks allegedly used a stone to strike Plummer. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Plummer was seen lying face down in blood with a wound to the head. Ebanks, who was seen running from the scene, was chased and held by the lawmen. He was taken into custody and formally charged after a question and answer session.